Hi, hi. So,
Hi.
yeah, we can start, right? Okay. So, this is the life of mental health and how it affects everybody and how sharing emotions and everything is very important in our day-to-day life. So, first of all, I'd like to introduce the both of you. Today we have with us Khushbu Shah and Hetal Oza. Khushbu Shah is a clinical psychologist and a practicing art therapist. She caters to emotional needs of the people and helps them with their problems on a deeper level with understanding in a judgmental way. She has been an art therapist for almost about 6 years now. Heta Loza, she is a counseling psychologist and has experience in the field of counseling and testing for the past 4 years. Her job as a counseling psychologist provides help to people with physical, emotional, and mental health concerns and to improve their well being through counseling and assessment. She loves to lend an ear and to work towards the healthy mind and healthy body of people. And I am Manya from Girl Up Ikhtiar. So, yeah, I think we can start. Okay, so the first question that
Yes.
we have is, do you think that the lockdown has had some positive effects as well on mental health, helped in some way? Like now we have started to think about our mental health, nature, importance of touch and things which we never thought of before because we were always in a busy schedule that we followed.
Um, Lockdown has actually impacted us too much, but we also got to know many things related to, as you said, touch. And work from home has been like in earlier days, it was something which was invited and welcomed by everyone. But as time passed, it became very difficult for people because the workload also increased and there were no boundaries or limits to them. And there were no boundaries in the work life and the home life. Everything was very much mixed up, and that messed up many of the relationships also. And that has created effect on the moods also. And those moods then either were for like instant gratification. If I say instant gratification, means that everything was available of the on the click of the mobile phone. And if it was not catered, then there were irritability issues. There were something related to there were dual personalities being also grown up. Like though there was work from home, it was like people are on mute, or video mode is off. And though the work was carried on, but they are still not there. So dual personalities were there. And that ways it was something like they are not there started the thing called disconnection. They are disconnected from the world, and slowly how it paced towards the disconnection towards themselves. I even ask Hetal to ponder over these, and what are her views.
Yes,
No,
very
no,
rightly said by Khushbu. Um, there are many. Am I audible?
yes, yes.
Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. So I'll continue. Okay. So yes, there have been certain positive and negative effects of this lockdown due to COVID, and the most positive thing which I see is that we can see a increased in family support from friends, and there is we can see that more and more people are sharing about their feelings with their family and friends. um, Other thing is that there is increased amount in self care and importance and more attention to mental health. And one more thing is that now family are listening. Earlier they used to or would say that ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है, तुम ऐसे ही सिर्फ बोल रहे हो. Now people are taking it more seriously. Positive side which I see.
Your net just thoda.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, yes.
Is it okay? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, exactly that is what I wanted to say. Um, that there are definitely some positive sides after this lockdown.
Yeah. So talking about the positives only, and how you said people are now recognizing and how mental health awareness has been increasing because everybody has started to accept in this pandemic mostly. So, with the threat of the third wave that has begun only, how do we cope with stress and worries about the welfare of our close ones? And what are some of the strategies, according to you, that you think can help them reduce their stress and everyday tension?
People need to be more, as it as said by Hetal, that people have started sharing a lot. So that needs to be continued more in number, and they have to be very transparent in the thing that uh, what actually they are feeling, and people need to be more acceptable of the thing, the other people who they are with, they are experiencing. We have created so many double standards with us that there is a facet which is seen, and there is a facet which we do not try to show them. Something like, if someone does not feel like working, then they will give excuse that they will have some other work or so. But um, if they are acceptable of the person that okay, he or she is not feeling like working, then he or she can be transparent about that okay, he or she is not feeling like working, and accept that thing. So the people need to be more transparent about what they are feeling, and they have to accept that same transparency from the people they are living with. If that transparency, and that flexibility would help them to have a like complete.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I guess it was some network issue. I'm waiting for Hetal to join back.
Okay.
You can continue, I guess. You were answering the question only.
Okay. I was talking about the transparency.
Yeah.
So the more transparent the people are with each other, then there would be a stronger bond with them, and they know what things are needed for a relationship to build upon, and they know the ins and outs of all the people, all their relations, when they are more and more transparent.
Yeah.
The more they know about it, they can they'll try to be more true to to themselves, and also with the people with whom they are coming in relationship with, and there would be not a mental overload of getting excuses of what they should tell the people and what they should expect of the others also.
Yeah. So basically, self-acceptance and
And
knowing.
others too.
Okay. So what do you think is like small practices that everyone can practice around this to achieve this?
Okay. Um, they need to know about themselves first, and what actually they are going through and why they are going through. Then when they accept of themselves, it become first the self acceptance is too much needed. When the self acceptance happens, then they'll be able to uh, create fill the gap of between that what actually they are feeling, and why they are saying some stories to others. Sometimes it happens that because of this all lockdown situation, there is too much mental overload, and people are just getting bored, and they need like a year to talk upon, like to hear someone. But then there is no person, and they are just becoming so workaholic that they go on an autopilot stage, and autopilot stage can create a mechanical life, and a mechanical life can create boredom and demotivation, and demotivation can create problems like disinterest, and that disinterest would be only be cured when they go for some non-judgmental person who can hear them. So I think here they need to first talk about it to a trusted person, to whom they can share them, and who listens to them in a non-judgmental way and accept them as they are, and that helps them accept themselves also.
Fair enough. Hetal, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, so I was disconnected due to some technical issues. So what was the question again?
The one we were talking about how stress has been increasing and what can we as like individuals do to reduce it.
Yeah, so exactly. See, due to stress, especially in students or especially in women, if we see that we can do certain small basic things by ourselves, which is that to limit our media exposure, because the level of information we are receiving, sometimes it can be overwhelming.
So if we limit our media exposure, and the second thing is we can indulge and focus more in the activities which bring joy to us, like any art or any sport, develop a hobby, or you can also start journaling. We can start writing down our thoughts, any stressful, specific thoughts that mm, creates worry or increases our anxiety. Second thing is we can also practice deep breathing, we can practice yoga, meditation, or even a 5-10 minute walk a day will be okay. So these are some basic normal things which we can follow.
Okay, so the first point you said to limit the media exposure. So do you think that social media is impacting our mental health? And um, along with that, what do you think can people do to avoid or limit the disturbing the information that is coming from all directions to everybody? And especially during the COVID, all the information is given through social media, all the news channels are online, but you can also not shut down from the world. So, what do you think you can do to keep a healthy balance?
Yeah, exactly. So what we can do is we can avoid watching television for some time, or at least news channels. If you want to stay updated to this daily informations, then we can read newspaper for that, because sometimes some video footage clippings that are shown on news channels and television can be overwhelming, even on social media. Some news or some videos can create anxiety and stress in us. So we can limit information from newspapers. Again, we can uh, look out for some very trustworthy, proper, reliable resources or news feeds, even apps. And if your social media, obviously in social media, we cannot just completely avoid social media nowadays. It's a digital world. So what we can do is that focus more on positive sides of social media. For example, we can share or spread some positive quotes. We can look out for some positive news, positive things that are happening in the world around us. So to keep us, in a healthy, for a healthy mind, to keep us less overwhelmed. So these are some things which we all can do.
Yeah.
I would like to add upon this that we can do something like there is a period, maybe just we start with an hour, that hour is just no social media, or and then indulge with our own senses. It has happened that when we are being in contact with social media, we have become very much in an autopilot stage, and the routines have become very mechanical, and that is why what has happened that we just go in that flow. So that flow has to be broken and the routines have to be changed, and that's why if it is necessary, if it is it is very much necessary to break that flow by having 1 hour of no social media, and be just very conscious about your senses, and create self-awareness about yourself, and then indulge in some hobbies like said by like art, going on for a walk, journaling, etc.
Okay, so now that we're talking about art and journaling, according to you, like now we are trapped in our homes because it's a lockdown. So you said ki art can help us. Do you think it can help us reconnect with ourselves and find comfort in solitude? And if so, then exactly how art can help?
Yes, here art can help in a way that when we understand how art is to be done, if we can do art in the sense of expressing ourselves and not being as good or bad or right or wrong, if we just use art to express ourselves, then our senses become free and we are more connected with the art, we are more connected with ourselves, and that increases self awareness, and that helps in self expression also. So the more we are connected with ourselves, the more we feel free, the more we feel complete, and the things which we were on an autopilot stage when we were in connection with social media just changes, and the flow is broken, and we create something which is not only beautiful but which is expressing ourselves in a, and we create a wholesome new world for ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we have talked about how it had a little bit of positive impact, there were a lot of negative sides to it also that we all know. So there were a lot of people who had to go through a lot of trauma. So how do you think they can help, like in their own, except from professional, help themselves? Like, is there any way which one can escape from the trauma, not escape, but find a way out through it, and like finding is physical activity or a hobby or something like that important for it, and till what extent do you think it is important?
So I'd like to answer. Um, so the thing is that a trauma is basically a response to a negative event, basically an emotional response. And it is very, very normal to experience uh, a certain emotion, feel a certain way after a disturbing event. It's very normal. Now, overcoming trauma is not a thing of a day or a few weeks or months. It takes time, so we have to be patient, and it takes sometimes even years and proper long-term therapy to overcome trauma. Some basic thing which we can keep in mind is that uh, there is no right or wrong in feeling a certain way after having a disturbing event. So just don't force yourself to feel in a certain way. Don't stop yourself to hold back your feelings and emotions. It is completely okay to feel whatever way you are. Second thing is that focus on your feelings. Don't ignore them, because if you ignore your feelings, it might be helpful for a short period of time. Temporarily, you might feel okay, but then it will only ultimately slow down your recovery, or it will only make things worse. So what one can do is that just let yourself feel the emotions and feelings without any judgmental, with complete acceptance. So that is these are the first small steps before going on for a proper therapy. So which one can do. So second thing is that it is a healing process, and it will definitely take time. So we have to be patient again. Uh, Third is we can indulge partaking proper activity, again as I said that they are very, very helpful. Uh, Second is start journaling from proper events that have been very, very disturbing and overwhelming to you from the past experiences. So you can note down, so you can be more and more self-aware of that, your thought patterns, your feelings, emotions, and then you can move on, bring out a solution for that. You can also go for a proper desensitization or exposure therapy specifically for that particular feeling or an event. So yeah, these are some basic things which one can.
Okay.
And the most thing is one more thing I'll add, that just don't be harsh on yourself. Just don't be rough on yourself. Completely okay. Like I said, there is no right and wrong. Okay, so this is very, very okay, it is very normal and please yourself to that.
Khushbu, do you want to add to it?
Yeah, it's the same thing that it takes time, and let yourself take that time to uh, be in that phase and accept the all the feelings which are going on. And main thing is expression, that express your feelings and do not just ignore them away, because once it is ignored, the pain increases, and that too it increases, and it causes stress, and it shows in different aspects of life. Like it may be in the form of boredom, it may be in the form of demotivation, it may be in the form of loss of interest or apathy. And that's why the expression is too much needed. And if though it would be painful in the beginning, but once it is expressed, it you will be uh, you will get rid of it, and you accept your situation as it is, and that will make you in sync with the reality, that okay, this is your reality. Otherwise the person will go on around beating the bush, but he will not be able to be in sync with the reality, and that would create more and more pain, and it would take too much time to heal uh, yeah, his or her or her own feelings.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Do you also think that the pandemic has reinforced an extremely unpredictable nature of life? And in these times, like, especially for young people, how future seems uncertain and bleak, and how can people keep themselves motivated to work towards their goals and how what they want to achieve in life, because everyone is stuck in a same cycle of routine that they follow every day for a long time now.
Yeah, they have actually been one type of stuck, and it has become a new uh, reality of life, that everything has become online, and that has created bleakness in the lives. And it if it is seen, then it creates something, a feeling, that it creates a feeling of hopelessness. um, but now there, if taken it positively, a new portal of life, that is an online portal, has opened. It's like, if we take it positively, we see that now we can do many things too quickly, and there are many courses which can be done on internet, and that too very quickly. There are many free courses available, and the knowledge can be taken from them. Like there are many sites like Coursera, um, Udemy, Upgrad, and they help people to give knowledge and be there in the four walls, but still be able to enrich with their knowledge. So if we take it in a positive way, then we can utilize the time in that way and create ourselves a bright future.
Yeah. Hetal, do you want to add?
Yes, yes. Adding to that, few things which we can do is that make a plan. Exactly. Start your day with a plan. Before, there are many other online things which are very, very helpful. We can help, which you can use. But I would like to say that to start your day with a plan and set small goals. Don't if you set a long-term goal and then you might feel low, you might feel demotivated. So to keep you motivated, to keep yourself oneself going, set small goals, and once you achieve those goals, reward yourself. Because in the time of during lockdown, the trying times, you have to reward yourself, give yourself some time. It does come under self-care. So it will really help you keep on going, and especially achieve a long-term.
Yeah, being a student, I can tell you. Um, Although we have a lot of resources on internet, it becomes overwhelming at time because we know that people are doing so much and that not everyone feels motivated enough to do them, but at the same time they know other people who are in the same group are doing it. So yes, setting small goals I feel is a very good idea, and it can help because if you set your own goals, it will help you in the long
Yeah.
run. Okay, so adding to what Khushbu previously said about emotional sharing and stuff, why do you think is emotional sharing important, and whom should we share with, and where should it actually take place?
Emotional sharing in these times has become too much important because first of all, the realities have changed. Everyone has been locked up in their houses, and there is um minimal attachment with the environment. It is just their four walls with which they are being connected to, and that has caused too much sensory overload. Just like there has been too much overthinking because everything is happening in at the click of the phone, but nothing is happening around their environment. So the thinking patterns have changed. There has been overthinking. There has been too much load on the imagination levels. There has been too much load on decision making and problem solving areas. So everything has a load, and that creates I think that there has been a less of interaction with the environment, and that causes emotional sharing too much important because expression comes in place, and expression has become too little, and that too with no one can trust a person who is not an experienced one. a person who is an experienced, who is trained enough, is the one who is capable enough to have emotional sharing with them, and that person would be one who will be doing it in a non-judgmental way, giving a non-judgmental environment, and that would help him in self-awareness and self-acceptance very easily.
Heather, do you want to say
Exactly.
something?
So adding to what Khushbu said, which is very, very right, correct. One more thing is that you can share it with, even if you want to share it with a person with a proper psychological mindset, with who has a proper understanding of your emotions exactly, and a proper, so someone who is trustworthy. Normally people share it with their closed ones, or some member of the family, or some close friends. But again, it will be very, very helpful if you look out that the person is actually having a proper psychological mindset, a psychological viewpoint of your concerns.
Yes, I agree. Because if one tries to think uh, to themselves, like it can sometimes lead to overthinking and going into a loop of negative thoughts, I would say. So, saying that, do you think one can stop themselves from overthinking or can change the thought into positive? Like, how do you do that?
Yes, definitely. But the first thing one can do is, many people say that no, I can't stop my overthinking. I cannot. I force myself. I try a lot. I put so much effort in stopping from getting all these thoughts, very disturbing thoughts, especially negative thoughts. So one thing is, especially uh, that one thing is one has to do is, don't force your thoughts to stop, because the more you will force yourself from overthinking, the more you will get exhausted and tired. So just let the thoughts flow, and try to focus on the thoughts which are mostly repeated. You can see that कौन से thoughts मेरे सबसे ज्यादा आ रहे हैं. So which are the thoughts which are normally repeated in your mind? You can note them down, and then become aware about it, about your thought pattern. Second is that the one normal thing one can do is, uh, your thoughts are not something which will stop, which are not under your control. And mostly when people say that they overthink, is about their past experiences, about things that they have done, about their mistakes, about their uh, decisions that they have took. So most of the times they regret about them, and then they overthink about them. Thoughts, they predict their future. So the first and foremost thing one can do is that be in present. Focus on now. So you can pen down, as I said, pen down those thoughts, and then prepare plan to avoid those mistakes in future, or to well prepared yourself for those mistakes from future. So these are some things which a person can really take care of. And obviously, if still it doesn't work, then try to focus on more positives, on positive side, or what you can do right now, better than thinking about the same thoughts or viewing the same images about past. Better focus on finding solutions, because when you start looking for solutions, you can gradually overcome the same repeated thoughts.
Yes, I agree. Khushbu, you add something to it?
Uh, I wanted to add that once you are thinking, overthinking, maybe it is not the many times the thoughts are repeated, but it is not the thoughts which are very important, or sometimes it is because of the feeling which is below that. So focus on that feeling, that what is the feeling. So mainly overthinking is caused by anxiety, and if that feeling is noted, then try to have some relaxation exercises, and if that relaxation exercises are taken and the anxiety is curbed down and reduced, then those thoughts which were repeated would also come down to little, because it is mostly because of the feeling, and the feelings cause the thoughts. So once the feeling is taken care of, then the thoughts would also come down.
Yes, I agree. Um, okay, so I think we're almost to the end. Uh, do you want to add anything? Do you want to tell anything? The close.
Yeah. So we did this. Thank you, Manya, for thank you, Girl of Akhtiar, also. Thank you, Hetal, to have me, to have us on this Insta Live. Mental health, the need of the hour. This was actually for the introduction of emotional sharing circle, which will be doing it in a couple of weeks, where the people who will join us in the circle would be able to share their feelings, their emotions in a non-judgmental way, and they'll be given room, they'll be given space to have their feelings uh, shared with everyone, and you get that space to have your feelings to be with each other, and it would be in a confidential setting. So that would create you room for um, therapy. The ones who cannot go for therapy, we created an emotional circle thing, so that they can share their feelings and their emotions, their thoughts. uh, so this is for the introduction of the emotional sharing circle. Whosoever is interested may DM us, may follow us. Tune to Rhythm at official, Heta and Hetal Oza underscore 007, and we will be updating on our pages about the emotional sharing circle, and you will be able to have that atmosphere, that space to share.
That's a great initiative, Khushbu. And we're glad to have you. Thanks for coming with us. This was a very informative thing, I think, very well needed during this time. So thank you. And I think there are no questions in the chat box. Yeah, there are no questions. If anyone wants to ask, they can, or we can just say goodbye. There are no questions. So I think we were very well explanatory in our discussion. So yeah, thank you for coming. Thanks a lot. It means
Thank you, Manya.
Thank you,
bye.
Manya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.